Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Okay, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we shall continue. What should you study today? What do you want to study today?
The worksheet, sir.
The worksheet your mom has sent me. Okay. Should I explain all the questions or you have any specific doubts?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
சார் சாரி அவனை டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ணதுக்கு நான் பார்த்தேன் அப்படி கஷ்டம்டா டியூஸ்டே வைக்க சொல்லுவோம் இவருக்கு ஒரு 1 hour இந்த ஒர்க் ஷீட்ல வந்து இப்போது கொஸ்டின் எல்லாம் செஞ்சிருக்கிறாரு நார்மல் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுத்துட்டு இவருக்கு இருக்குது அந்த டவுட்களை கொஞ்சம் கிளியர் பண்ணி விட்டா ஓகே சார்
சரி ஓகே
doubt question correct அடுத்தது இவருக்கு சார் நார்மலா ஒர்க் ஷீட்டை செஞ்சுட்டு அடுத்தது இந்த நான் அனுப்பியிருக்கிறேன் வந்து ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் வந்து இந்த ஃப்ராக்ஷன்ல அதைத்தான் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண அந்த பாடம் தான் அவருக்கு கொஞ்சம் விளங்கி இல்லை அடுத்தது ஓகே மாதிரி தான் இருக்கு நீங்க क्वेश्चन கேட்டீங்கன்னா இவன் ஆன்சர் பண்ற பேச்சு உங்களுக்கு விளங்கும் மிஸ் இன்ஷாஅல்லாஹ் hope answer is correct.
Okay, so should I explain all the questions or you have any specific doubts?
Sir, I'll tell answers.
Okay, I will correct them. Okay. So what's the answer for the first one?
1.51.
1.51. That's correct. Okay. What about B part?
4.
4. Okay. See, a number with only two factors is called a
Prime number.
prime number. Okay. And the number which has more than two factors. What's the opposite of composite number?
Composite numbers.
Okay. In the sequence of triangular numbers 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, the next number is,
21.
I'm sorry,
21, sir.
21. So here the difference is 2, here 3, here 4, here 5. The next difference should be 6. So if you add 6 with 15, so it should be 21. And E, is the value that appears the most frequently. What's the answer? What's the answer for the E part?
Sir, can you explain that?
Okay, so the dash is the value that appears the most frequently, right? So here in a series of number, if we have the particular number more than one times, we can call this as mod. Have you heard the term mod?
Mod. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is mod? The number or the
that is,
value that
more than
appears
one time.
more than one time.
More than one time.
Okay, and what about mean? Mean, mod, median, right? So do you know about these three terminologies?
Yes, sir.
So what is mean?
சார் அவருக்கு அதுல கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிடுங்க சார்.
Okay.
மறந்துடுச்சு நான் ரிவைஸ் பண்ணல.
Okay, okay. So what is mean? What is mean? Mean is the average of numbers, right? For example, let's say we have hello. சொல்லுங்க எப்படி ஓ 5 நிமிஷத்தாலே போகணும். கிளாஸ் ஒன்றில் இருக்கேன் நான். வாப்பா இருக்கிறாங்க, நான் சொல்லி பார்க்கணும். சரியா? இப்போ 5 நிமிஷத்தில் எடுத்து வந்து சரி என்ன? ஓகே, நான் கிளாஸில் இருக்கணும். இல்லைங்கண்ணா.
என்ன
Okay, I'm sorry, I received a call. So let me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what were we discussing? Okay, mean, right? So what is
Yeah.
mean? Mean is the average of numbers, right? So let's say we
Yeah.
have some numbers, right? So 2, 3, 4. What's the average of these three numbers? What's the average of these three numbers? You know how to calculate the average of numbers?
Sir, no.
Okay, that's fine. So let's say we have two numbers, 2 comma 3. So to find out the average means right, so the average means kind of middle number, right? So to find out the average of these two numbers, we have to add these two numbers and divide by the number of numbers that we have, right? So now for these two numbers, the average would be 2 plus 3 by 2. So why do we divide it by 2? Because we have two numbers, that's why we are dividing by 2, right? So 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, right? So kind of middle number, right? So this is how we have to calculate. Now 5 comma 8, what's the average of these two numbers?
8 plus 5.
8 plus 5.
And 2.
2 where?
In the downside.
Okay, so how do you call this portion of the fraction? So we call this as denominator, right? So this is the total of these two numbers. This is the total of the numbers, and this is the number or frequency of the numbers, we can say frequency. Are you familiar with the term frequency? Yeah, frequency of the numbers, right? Frequency. Okay, now let's suppose we have three numbers, 2 comma 3 comma 4. How can you find the average of these three numbers?
By pressing all the numbers and dividing it.
We have to take the sum of all these three numbers, 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by the number of the frequency.
3.
Is the frequency 3. So 2 plus 5, 9 by 3, 3, 9, right? So 3 is the average, right? Okay. And what is mod? For example, let's say 2 comma 3 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So in this series of numbers, what is mod? So mod is the value that has occurred more than one times or many times. So here
Sir,
mod means, you see, mod is the value or the number that occurs most frequently or more than one times or many times, right? So now if you look at this series, 2 has occurred only one time, and this 3 has occurred 2 times, and this 4 has occurred only one time, and 5 also has occurred only one time. So here, since 3 has occurred 2 times, we will call this 3 is the mod of this series of numbers. Okay. So 2. Again, let's say 7 comma 7 comma 8 comma 8 comma 9 comma 10 6 comma 5, right? So this is a series of number, or we can say these are the sample of data. Now can you find out the average of these numbers first?
okay, sir.
You are allowed to use calculator in your exam? No, right?
No.
No. Okay. So you have to manually add them.
Yeah.
So you have to practice more and more questions so that you can speed up your calculation ability, right?
Yes. 60. Sir, the answer is. Sir, the average.
The average is? What's the average? Now, how to find the average? Now, first we have to take the total of all these numbers. 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. Okay. And divide by, how many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Divided by 8. And what's the total of the numerator? Just add them. What's the total? Did you calculate the total? Did you calculate the total? Are you there in the meet? Did you calculate the total?
Oh, yes, sir. It's 60.
Okay, 60. So 60 divided by 8, right? So 60 divided by 8, what's the value?
75.
75.
What?
75?
7.5?
7.5, right? 7.5. Okay. Right. Now, tell me the mode of these numbers.
Sir, 8 and 7.
8 and 7. Why? Because 8 and 7 have occurred 2 times each, right? So we can call these 7 and 8 are the modes, right? And what is median? Median is the value that is occurring in the middle of the data points or in the sequence of numbers, right? So now, in order to find the median, you have to order the numbers in the ascending or descending order, and the middle value will be the median. Okay. Now, let's say we have 4, 8, 3. What is the median of this number?
8.
Is that 8?
What?
Is that 8? No.
Yeah.
You see here, this number is not ordered, right? So you cannot tell since, okay, even though the 8 is in the middle of these 3 numbers, you cannot tell this is the median. First, you have to arrange the number in the ascending or descending order, right? So what is ascending order?
It means.
Right. Can you just arrange the numbers in the ascending order?
High.
Ascending order. From smallest to the largest, right? So this is ascending order. Descending means from largest to the smallest. This is descending order. So the ascending order of these numbers is 3, 4, 8, right? So 3, 4, 8. This is the ascending order, and after arranging it in the ascending order, the middle value will be the median. So here the median will be 4, right? Not 8. Have you understood?
4.
Right? So median can be found after arranging the numbers in the ascending order only. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. And let's say 3, 4, 5, 8. So what's the median of this number?
So where is that?
Here.
Should I sell the median?
Yeah.
An ascending order and.
Yeah. First, you have to check if the numbers are arranged in ascending or descending order. If not, we have to arrange. But
Should I tell the ascending?
Yeah. Now you see here. If you look at these numbers, by default they are arranged in the ascending order. So we have to get the middle value. We have to find the middle value, right? So how can you find the middle value?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, since the number of the number of values that we have is even, we have to take the middle 2 numbers, and the average of the middle 2 numbers will be the median. Have you understood this now?
Yeah.
Now, if the number of values is even, we have to take the average of the middle two numbers. But if the number of values is odd, then directly the middle number will be only one single number, right? So only the single number will be the middle one. So we can say that will be the median, right? But here 4 and 5 occur in the middle. 4 and 5 occur in the middle. Now we have to take the average of 4 and 5. That will be the median of these numbers, right? So 4 plus 5 divided by 2 is 4.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Now, so can you repeat what I told you regarding the median of the numbers with frequency of odd number?
Median.
Yeah. So if the frequency is odd number, how can you calculate or how can you find out the median? Have you comprehended my question? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did I ask you?
How should I take the median?
Yeah. How can you identify the median of the series of numbers with frequency of odd number? Odd number means simply you can have the middle number as the median.
By
But if the
taking
frequency is even, then you have to take the average of the middle numbers, right? Now similar to this one, similar to the example that I explained just now. Okay. Now I am going to give you some questions.
Taking the
Yeah, tell me.
nothing, sir.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me, right?
Okay, sir.
So 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, n, 10. Right. Now for these series of number, can you find out the mean, median, and mode? Quickly.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, what's the mean? Have you done the question?
Sir, the mean is 7.
The mean is 7 and median?
So I'm doing. Sir, in in the median, should I give ascending and descending? Sir, in the median, should I give ascending and descending?
Yeah, first you have to check if the data points are arranged in the ascending or descending order. But for mean, you don't need to check that. But for finding the median, you have to confirm whether the data set is arranged or the numbers are arranged in the ascending or descending order. If not, you have to arrange it first. Then only you can find out the median. And for finding the mode also, the numbers don't need to necessarily be in ascending order. Right?
Okay.
So now I just gave you this example in the ascending order, but if the numbers are shuffled, then you have to ascend it, right? So you have to arrange it. It's the median. What is the median?
Sir, it's 8.5.
8.5, right? So now since we have I think 6 values, we have to take the middle 2 points and the average of these two numbers will be the median, right? So 8.5. And what's mode?
10.
10. Suppose if this is 11. Suppose if this is 11, what's the mode?
Sir, can you repeat it again?
Suppose if this is 11, can you find out the mode? You don't need to actually find out mean and median. Skipping these two, can you try to tell me the mode?
Sir, then there's no mode.
No mode, right? No mode. You can't write 0. You can't write 0. Why? Because we have no number like 0, right? So if 0 is there, then it will be wrong, right? So if you know, if you don't have mode, you have to write no mode, right? Okay. Now, second one. So state whether the statement is true or false. What about the first one?
False.
The value of 6 square is 64. Is that false or true?
False.
False. How?
Yeah.
Can you tell me why is it false? Can you justify your answer?
Sir, I don't know how to explain it.
So so you tell this is false, right?
Yeah.
It's wrong, right? Okay. Now let me explain. So here 6 square is equal to 64. They are telling. Okay. Now 6 square means 6 into 6. 6 into 6 is what? 6 into 6?
36.
36. Okay. So that is false, right? That is false. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are correct. Okay. So what can give you 64? What can give you 64?
What?
What can give you 64? 8 square can give you 64, right?
8.
8 square can give you. So how do you call these numbers?
What, sir? Can you repeat it?
How can you call these numbers? 1, 4, again 9, 16, right? So 36. So how can you call these numbers? 25 in between. How do you call these numbers? So we call these numbers as perfect square numbers, right?
Perfect square
square numbers. Perfect square numbers.
numbers.
Fine. Right, now B part. What about B part?
Yes, sir.
Is that true? An equilateral
Yes,
triangle
it's true.
has 3 lines of symmetry. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So what is equilateral triangle?
Um,
Who are you talking to?
no, sir.
Okay. So what is equilateral triangle?
It's with 3 sides.
Yeah.
It's with
So
3 corners.
actually triangle should have 3 sides, but if it is an equilateral triangle, all sides should be equal, right?
Yeah.
All sides should be equal. And in terms of the length, the magnitude of the sides, we can classify triangles into 3 categories, right? So we can say isosceles triangle. What is isosceles triangle?
Sir, it's with 3 sides.
You know anything about that?
Yes.
Okay, can you recall what you studied about the types of triangles?
Sir, can you give me 1 sec?
Okay.
The same length.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was disconnected. Did you say anything? Okay. So did you say anything? I was disconnected. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Right. So now,
And
yeah. Now we have, okay. So we may classify triangles. Triangles is a 2D object with or we can say plan figure, right? So plan figure with 3 sides. Now in terms of the size, the size of the, what do you call, the lengths of the sides, we can classify it into 3 categories, right? So how can you classify them? Equilateral triangle as mentioned in this question, and now let's say only 2 sides are equal. How can you call this triangle? Only 2 sides are equal and the third side is different from the Okay. Right. So how can you call a triangle with only two equal sides?
What?
Okay. So now what I was telling is we can classify triangles into many categories, right? So now regarding the lengths of sides, we can classify it into three categories. The first one is equilateral triangle, right? So equilateral triangle means, as you told, all the sides mean all three sides are equal, right? And let's say we have only two equal sides and the third one is different from the rest duo. So in that case, how can you call this triangle?
Equilateral.
Oh,
Triangle.
isosceles
Isosceles triangle.
isosceles triangle, right? And let's say all three sides are different from each other. So how can you call this triangle? What's the special name that we give for this type of triangle?
Equilateral triangle.
No, I'm asking, see, right? So now the triangle, we may have these types of triangle, right? So in this triangle we have all these three sides are equal. So if I mark like this, all these three sides are equal. Let's say if this is 3 centimeter, this is also 3 centimeter, this is also 3 centimeter. Okay, so how can you call this type of triangles? Equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. Okay, so here equilateral triangle means all three sides are equal, right? And let's say only these two sides are equal, and this is different, right? So this is different. Okay, so let's say this is 3 centimeter, this is also 3 centimeter, but this is 5 centimeter, this is 5 centimeter. How can you call this triangle?
Sir?
How can you call this triangle?
What?
How can you call this triangle?
Sir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I ask you, how can you call this triangle? Can you recall the name of this type of triangles?
Is it isosceles?
Isosceles triangle, right? So isosceles triangle. So this is the spelling, right? Isosceles triangle. Okay, if you want, you can mark. And let's say we have all these sides are different in length, right? So let's say this is 3 centimeter and this is 4 centimeter and this is 8 centimeter. So how can you call this triangle?
A scalene? Scalene?
Scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Okay, scalene triangle. Okay, now this is in terms of the lengths of the sides. Now again, in terms of the angles, in terms of the angle, we can classify it into three categories again, right? So let's say, how can you call this triangle? One angle is right angle. So we can call it as right angle triangle. Right angled triangle. Right angle. And let's say all these angles are acute. Acute angle, obtuse angle, and right angle. Obtuse angle. What is obtuse angle? Obtuse. Okay, now we
Sir?
have, yeah.
Sir, அந்த ஏரியா சார் நான் கொஞ்சம் சார் ஏன்னா இது வந்து அவருக்கு மறந்துட்டு இதெல்லாம் இன்னும் ரிவைஸ் பண்ண இல்ல. ஆனா இதுவரை அவருக்கு பெரிய அளவுக்கு இது டவுட் இல்ல. என்னன்னா கொஞ்சம் ரிவைஸ் பண்ணினா விளங்கும். ஆனா பின்னுக்குள்ள பகுதி கொஞ்சம் கூட அந்த ஃபிராக்ஷன் பாடம் விளங்கி இல்ல.
ரைட் ஓகே.
அப்ப அடுத்த டைம் இருந்தா இன்ஷால்லா வேற ஒரு கிளாஸ் போட்டு செய்வோம். ஒரு டைம் இருக்காட்டி இத செய்ய கிடைக்காது. ஏன்னா வென் கிளாஸ் எக்ஸாம்.
இதுல எங்க क्वेश्चंस இதா right. So okay, now can you try to answer
question number 8.
Question number 8.
This one.
Yes, sir.
சார் அவருக்கு இதுல ஆன்சர் தெரியும், ஆனா இது எப்படி ஆன்சர் பண்றதுன்னு தெரியாது.
Okay. Right. So the diagram contains an equivalent fraction, decimal and percentage. Right. Okay. So in this diagram, we have 3 circles. Right. So now you have to apply your IQ knowledge. Right. IQ. Right. So now you see here. This diagram contains equivalent fraction, right? So equivalent fraction means what? Equivalent fraction means what? Equivalent fractions are identical in magnitude. Identical in magnitude means the values of equivalent fractions are same, right? For example, let's say half, right? So can you tell me some equivalent fraction for this fraction?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10 and
Okay,
5 out of 10 and
you'll be able to hear. Oh, yes, sir.
10 out of 20 and so on, right? So how can you write equivalent fraction for a given fraction? By multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number, right? By the same number. Here to obtain this fraction, you just multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5. And to obtain this one, you just multiply this numerator and denominator by 10, right? Now here in this diagram, it contains an equivalent fraction, decimal and percentage, right? Now this is an equivalent fraction. Okay, it is an equivalent fraction of what do you call it? This 4 divided by 5, right? So this is also an equivalent fraction for this. But in the rest 2 circles, we should have decimal and percentage. Decimal and percentage.
This is correct.
So how can we this?
Sir, your voice is cracking.
What about now?
Okay.
It's due to the climate, okay, because it's windy here. Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the diagram contains an equivalent fraction, decimal and percentage. So can you just try to convert this fraction to decimal and percentage? Decimal and percentage.
So you can explain once again. I could not.
Right. So now in the diagram we have 3 circles. only in one circle they have written a fraction, and in the rest two circles we are supposed to write the decimal and the percentage, right? Now can you just try to write down the decimal value and the percentage value of the given fraction? How can you write that? This is
Sir, your voice is cracking again.
Yeah.
can you is it okay now?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. So now can you just try to convert this fraction to decimal and what do you call this percentage
Yeah.
to complete the diagram, right? So in one circle you just write down the decimal, and in the next circle you just write down the percentage. That's all. Have you understood the idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
here in this circle you have to write the decimal, and here percentage, right? So we have already studied how to write how to convert a you should know how to convert a fraction to decimal, right? And how to convert a fraction to percentage by multiplying by so yeah, can you just do it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's the
The
decimal?
percent, the
Zero-
percentage is 80%.
80% and 0.8, right? So this is the answer.
Right.
And fraction, right? So what about the fourth one? I'm sorry, 14th one.
Sir, can you explain the 8th question?
Eighth one we have already done, no? This one?
சார் அவரு அது எப்படி வந்தேன்றது தெரியாது சார்.
Okay, so you see here the diagram. So first you have to read the question carefully. The diagram contains an equivalent fraction, right? So okay, this is an equivalent fraction, that's okay. A decimal and percentage. Complete the diagram. So now you can just think how you can convert this fraction to decimal and percentage. And in order to complete the diagram, in one circle you have to put the decimal number of this fraction, and in the remaining circle you have to put the percentage of the given fraction. So now
சார் அவர் இப்ப மறந்திருக்குது 2.8 எப்படி எடுத்து 8 இப்ப ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த கொடுத்திருக்கிற ரவுண்ட்ல கொடுத்திருக்கிற நம்பர் 0.8க்கு எப்படி அது வந்துச்சு, எந்த மெத்தட்ல அது வந்தேன், அந்த மெத்தட்ல தான் உங்களுக்கு
0. Okay, அதாவது என்னன்னு சொல்றது, அவருக்கு 0.8 எப்படி வந்துட்டு விளங்கலையாமா? Didn't you understand how you
0. எப்படி
okay. So now right, so you understood how I wrote this percentage, right? Just by multiplying by 100%, right? And now to convert a fraction to decimal, what you should do is 8. Now what is the meaning of a fraction? Now this is the numerator and this is the denominator. The numerator is divided by the denominator. So 8 is divided by 10. 8 is divided by 10. So do we have tens in 8? Do we have tens in 8? Can you do this, what do you call this, long division method? Yeah, can you do this long division? For example, 40 divided by 8. How can you do this?
Yes.
You write 40 here and 8 here, and you have to perform this long division, right? And the quotient will be the answer. This, how do you call this? This is called quotient, right? Quotient. Right. Similarly, how can you write this division into fraction? 40 divided by 8. 40 divided by 8. Now we have studied what are the types of fractions. We have, what do you call this, proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed numbers. Yeah. Proper fraction means the denominator should be higher than, or the bigger than the numerator. And can you just define the term improper fraction and proper fraction? What do you know about those things?
Sir, I know,
Yeah, you know about proper fraction and improper fractions.
but I forgot.
You forgot, right? So proper fraction mean, for example, 2 divided by 4. Now see here the numerator. So how do you call this portion of the fraction and this portion of the fraction? This is numerator and this is denominator, right? So the top number is numerator and the bottom number is denominator, right? So you shouldn't forget this one. Okay, you shouldn't forget this. Every time I will be talking about this numerator and denominator. So here the numerator is less than the denominator, right? So in terms of the value, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this is called proper fraction. This is called proper fraction. And can you just tell me some examples for proper fraction? Can you tell me some examples for proper fractions? Is your mom next to you?
Sir,
Is your mom next to you? Am I audible? Is your mom next to you?
sir, not here. Can you explain again?
Okay, so here proper fraction and improper fractions, right? So now proper fraction means the denominator is bigger, right? The denominator is bigger. And improper fraction means the denominator is smaller, right? For example, 2 divided by 3, 4 divided by 8, like this, right? So here the top number is smaller than the bottom number. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
So these types of fractions are called proper fractions. Proper fractions. And how do you call this improper fraction? Now the vice versa, right? So 3 divided by 2, 3 over 2. Now the numerator is bigger than the denominator, right? So which means, can you understand the terms denominator and numerator? You shouldn't confuse with those.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Again, 8 divided by 1. So this is also an improper fraction, right? So all numbers are improper fraction. And here 8 divided by 3. Again, this is also an improper fraction. Why? Because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Okay. What I was telling. Okay. Now 8 divided by 3. So can you do this sum? 8 divided by 3. What's the value for 8 divided by 3? What's the value for 8 divided by 3?
3.
Can you do it? So, okay, before that, can you try to answer me 8 divided by 2? What's the value for this one?
Sir, which one?
Okay, now see here. Let me erase all the annotations. Okay. So 8 divided by 2. What's the value for this?
4.
4. How did you do that?
4.
4. Yeah, okay. But I'm asking how you did that. What's the method that you follow to obtain this answer? That's what I'm asking.
Sir, I just did it.
Mm-hmm. You can use your screen to annotate if you want to write anything. You know, there is an annotation option on the Zoom. There is a pen icon. Can you see the pen icon on your device? So just click on that, and you can take the pen and write on the screen if you want to write and explain. Right, so 8 divided by 2, right? So now we have 4 2's in 8, right? So this is how you should have done.
Yeah.
And can you try to obtain the answer for this sum? 8 divided by 3. What's the answer for this? 8 divided by 3.
Okay. Sir,
What's the answer? 8 divided by 3. Okay, so 8 divided by 3. I not be able to divide this one. You have any issues in division?
it's 3. It's 3.
Is that 3? How? 8 divided by 3, right? So how many 3's do we have in 8?
2.
Okay,
It's
2. 2 into 3, 6. And what's the remainder? What's the remainder? What's the remainder? 8 minus 6, 2, right? So you know how to perform this long division. You know, right? What's the remainder? 2. Again, now we don't have any other number,
Okay.
right? So we will place a point, decimal, and then we will put 0 here, right? So in 20, how many 30, how many 3 we have? Can you do this long division? You know how
Yes.
okay. So 20 in 20, how many 3's do we have?
2.
You should be familiar with the multiplication table, right? It should be in your fingertips.
Sir,
Yeah. So how many 3's do we have in 20? 3 times what will give you a number below 20?
18.
18, right? So 6 into 3 is equal to 18, right? So 6 into 3 is equal to 18. Again the remainder is 2. Again you can put 0 here. Again 6. So it will continue 2.66666 and so on, right? So the answer is 2.66666 like that. Again, can you just apply the same idea to convert this fraction to decimal? Now you see here, it was originally a fraction. Now we have converted it into decimal, right? So this fraction has been converted to decimal, right? This fraction
Yes.
has been converted to decimal. Okay. Now can you just try to convert this fraction to decimal? So it is okay, right? So 80 percentage just by multiplying by 100 percentage. Okay.
Yes.
How can you do that? You can even are you writing on a piece of paper?
Sir, sir,
Yeah.
so what should I do right now?
I'm sorry.
What should I do right now?
Okay. So I explained you how to divide 8 by 3, right? So using the same idea, can you try to divide 8 by 10? 8 by 10?
Yes, sir.
Now 8 divided by 3 gave you 2.6666, right? Now this
Yeah.
is a fraction. This is a fraction and this is a decimal number. This is a decimal number. Now we have converted a fraction to a decimal number by or using long division method. Similarly, this is a fraction and in this circle we have to write down the decimal number. So can you just apply the same idea or the same step that we followed for finding the or converting the fraction to decimal to find out this one also?
Is it empty? Huh?
Yeah, you didn't get my point, right?
Yes.
You didn't get my point?
Tell again.
Okay. So now you see here. Okay. So now here what you should understand is how to divide a number by another number using long division method. Are you clear about that? Are you clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we divided 8 by 3 and obtained this answer. Now this is absolutely a fraction. Right. Now this is a fraction, and this is a decimal number. We converted this fraction to decimal, right? So this is what I explained outside of this question, right? Outside of this question,
Yeah.
I have explained this. Now Now, reinforcing the knowledge that you have gained here, can you try to convert this fraction to a decimal to put here? What can you do? Simply 8 divided by 10. 8 divided by 10. Now, can you try to do this one? 8 divided by 10. Can you just find out the quotient here? What
Yeah.
will come here? Otherwise, you see, we have a shortcut also, right? So, dividing a number by 10 is simple. What? How? How?
Sir,
Dividing now this is just a shortcut, right? So dividing a number by the multiples of 10 is easy. If it is 10, you just want to place the you have to place the decimal one digit before, right? So 8 divided by 10 is equal to nothing but 0.8. Actually, you don't need to actually follow this. Now suppose if it was 8 divided by 3, then okay, you can follow this method. But here, this is very simple. You just want to move the decimal one digit before. If you want to divide a number by 10. Can you understand that? Do you know the shortcut? Here, wait. Now, how did you go to the answer for this one? 151 divided by 100. How did you obtain the answer for this question? Can you just tell me?
I moved two numbers.
You moved? You moved?
I moved two numbers.
I'm sorry?
Sir, I moved.
I can't hear you. Yeah, you moved?
The decimal.
By 2 digits for
I
what?
moved the.
Yeah, by 2 digits for what?
I moved the.
Yeah, you moved the the decimal point 2 digits
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now here we have the decimal, and if you want to divide it by 100, you just move these 2 digits forward, and the answer was 1.51. Then why are you struggling to divide 8 by 10? So 8 by 10 is nothing but 8 divided by 10. Can you write this as this? Can you write this as this? Are they similar?
0.8. Yeah.
Yeah, they are similar, right? They are similar.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Yeah.
Now this is very simple, 0.8. 0.8. Now, using the long division, can you confirm whether your answer is correct or wrong? How can you do that? 8 divided by 10. Now, how many tens do we have in 8? How many tens do we have in?
What?
How many? Okay.
0.
0, right? 0, and here 0, and the remainder is 8, and you have to place one point here, decimal, and 80. In 80 we have 8 tens. So again 0.8. So the answer is correct. Now again, so this is very simple. Then why are you? Here's the answer. Yes. So how can you convert this number to a fraction?
The answer.
0.8. Have you understood? Have you? Are you clear now? Are you clear now?
Sir?
Yeah? Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah.
Are you clear now? How I wrote the decimal from the fraction? Is that clear to you now? Is that clear to you now?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me how you have to do this one? Again. How did you get the answer? Can you just explain me?
Okay. Sir, should I do it in the board?
You have to verbally explain, and if you want to draw on the screen to support your justification, you can do it. No worries.
So I can draw?
Yeah, you can draw, you can explain, you can do anything you prefer. But I need to know what you have understood, right? And you have to verbally explain me also. That's fine, but since this is a fraction with the denominator of multiples of 10, this is very simple, right? So if you want to divide the number or the numerator by 10, simply you have to move the decimal point one digit forward. That is very simple. That is the simple explanation. You don't need to even write these things down. You don't need to even write these things down. You can simply and directly write down 0.8 in the circle, yeah, because you have already divided 151 by 100, right? Again, if you want to divide 151 by 1000, what would be the answer? What would be the answer for this sum? What would be the answer for this sum? You have to quickly able to tell me.
Sir, it's 151.
Is that 151? See here, 151 is divided by 1000. So now you see here, if you divide 151 by 100, you move the decimal 2 digits forward. Why? Because in 100 we have 2 zeros. So what you should understand is, now if you divide the number by 1000, you have to move the digit 3 digits forward, since 1000 has 3 zeros, right? So now 151, here we have the decimal point. So 1, 2, 3. So the point comes here. So the answer would be 0.151. 0.151.
Yeah.
Now I will give you some more question. 23.178 divided by 10,000. What's the answer?
Yes. 3. Sir.
So now this is how you have to think, right? How many zeros do we have in 10,000? Yeah.
2.
I'm sorry?
2 point. The answer is 2.3178.
3178. Is that correct? You have literally divided this number by 10, not by 10,000, right? So now what you should think is, in 10,000 how many zeros do we have?
4.
4. So you have to move the decimal point 4 digits forward. 4 digits forward, right? Now here 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should come here. So between that you have to place zeros, right? So the answer would be, the original answer would be 0.002317, right? Can you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Now again, right, so I will give you some more questions. 87.173 divided by 1000. What's the answer?
Sir,
What's the answer for this?
0.87.
0.87173. Very good, right? So now you have to count the number of zeros in the multiples of 10 that you are going to multiply by, and then by the number of zeros you have to move the digits forward if you are dividing, right? If you are dividing, and if you are multiplying, you have to move the digits backwards in the right hand side. Okay, for example, if I just change this into multiplication, right? So this is multiplication. What would be the answer? Let's say now 87.173 is multiplied by 1000. What's the answer?
The answer would be 87173.
Yeah, that's very simple. Simple as that. 87173. Now 8.731217 into 1000. What's the answer?
Eight. Sir, the answer would be 8731.2178.
8731.2178. That's correct. Okay. So this is how we have to multiply and divide the numbers by the multiples of 10. Okay. Now we will. Okay. Now we will come to this question, 14th one, right? Change these improper fraction into mixed numbers, right? So improper fractions, so I already told you, in improper fractions the top number will be bigger than the bottom number. So here 10 is greater than 3, so this is an improper fraction, and here also 6 is greater than 4, again this is an improper fraction, right? Okay. Now in order right, so you have any idea about how to convert the improper fraction into mixed numbers? What are mixed numbers? Mixed numbers means it should have an integer and a proper fraction, right? So now here you see mixed numbers contains an integer plus proper fraction, right? So what is proper fraction? In proper fraction the top number is lesser than the bottom number, right? Now what you should do is now if you divide 10 by 3, what is the integer value of the quotient? Now okay, now this is something like this, right? So now let's say you have 10 chocolates, and you have to share these 10 chocolates among 3 people. So how many chocolates will each person receive? This is the idea behind fractions, right? Now half means the entire, for example, half means what? If you got half of the cake that your father bought, what's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that?
Sir, can you tell it again?
Okay. Now let's suppose you have got the half of the cake that your father bought for you, right? So half you received and half you gave to your sister. So the entire cake is shared between two people. So each person receives half. This is half and this is half. If you add these together, you will get the entire cake. You will get the entire cake. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Now similarly, 10 divided by 3 means what? 10 divided by 3 means what?
It's
10 chocolates are shared among 3 people. So, how many full chocolates will each person receive? How many full chocolates will each person receive? Simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So if you have 3 people, this is for one person, this is for the second one, this is for the third one. Again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So now each person, right? So let's say, okay, now let me explain this way, right? So can you name 3 people's name, your friends?
Mike, Tyson, and Fury.
Ammar, right? So A for Ammar and the second one?
Yes.
Ben.
Ben. Ben for B, B for Ben and
Ryan.
Ryan, R, right? So A, B, R, right? So this chocolate is for Ammar, this is for Ben and this is for Ryan. Again, this is for Ammar, this is for Ben and this is for Ryan. And this is for Ammar, this is for Ben and this is for Ryan. And this is remaining. So what you should do? So you have to divide it into 3 portions and
Oh, yes, sir.
okay. Right? So now, how many chocolates has Ammar received? How many
3.
chocolates? 3, right? So you get 3, and from this remaining chocolate, how many, what amount will you receive? So this one should be divided by 3, right? So 3 plus 1 divided by 3. Now mixed numbers mean, now you have to just merge these integer and this fraction. So it will appear like this, 3 and 1/3, 3 and 1/3. Okay. Now this is the integer part of the mixed number and this is the fractional part of the mixed number. Right? So this is how we have to find, or we have to convert the mixed number, improper fraction to mixed number, right? So now if you want to cross check the value or the answer, you have to multiply the integer and the denominator of the fraction, and with the answer you have to add the numerator, right? So which means 3 into 3 plus 1. So 3 into 3 is equal to 3 into 3 is equal to 9 plus 1, 10, and in the denominator we have 3. So 3, right? So this is how we have to cross check, which means if you are given mixed number, this is how we have to do the reverse engineering. Mean, like the vice versa, the opposite procedure. Okay. Fine. Okay. So did you understand how I perform this calculation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did you understand how I perform this calculation?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, can you give a minute?
Yeah. And can you do the B part yourself?
Sir, can you explain again?
Okay. So right. So now you see here 10 divided by 3. This is a fraction. What is the meaning of this fraction? What is the meaning of this fraction? 10 is divided by 3, right? So now I just explained you. Assume that you have 10 chocolates. You have brought 10 chocolates to your school, and you have to share these 10 chocolates with 3 people. Okay. So now after sharing, each person receives 3, and one is remaining. So the remaining chocolate should be shared by dividing, right? So you have to divide the chocolate into 3 equal parts, and each part should be taken by Ammar, Ben and Ryan. Yeah. So now here, if you have chocolate like this and you have divided into 3 portions, and this represents 1/3, and this represents 1/3, and this represents 1/3. Yeah. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Sir? Sir, are you there?
Yeah, wait. There is a cockroach roaming Lakshmi. Let me kill that. Okay. Right. So now each person received 3 complete chocolates and 1/3 of the remaining chocolate. Right. So now you just add them. 3 plus 1/3 is nothing but 3 1/3. 3 and 1/3. Right. So this is how you have to convert this. Right. So 10 divided by 3 means, now you see how many 3's do we have in 10?
3.
3, right? So you should first write that down. How many integers that we have in the numerator, right? And after that, in the now this is the integer portion of the mixed number, and in the fractional portion here 3 will come, and the remainder will be written in the numerator of the fractional point, right? Here the remaining portion is, the remaining is 1, right? So after dividing 10 by 3, what is the remainder? 1.
1.
So the 1 should be written over here, right? So with that, can you try to answer the B part? How can you directly write down?
Yeah. Without Explanation.
Yeah, without doing all these things. You can. Right, so let me first explain. After that, I will give you some more questions, right? So now you see here 6 divided by 4. How many 4s do we have in 6?
0.
Ah,
Sir, how many 4s do we have in 6?
yeah, how many zeros?
0. 1 4.
1 4, right? 1 4. So 1 should be written here, and here 4 should be written. Why? Because the denominator will be the same in the fractional part of the mixed number also. And after dividing 6 by 4, what's the remainder? After dividing 6 by 4,
Yeah.
what's the remainder?
Sir,
Mhm. What's the remainder?
is it 1?
Oh, 6 divided by 4, right? So let's say we have 6, right? So we
Yeah.
have divided by 4. So each person will receive only 1. So one person obtained this, the second person, the third person, and the fourth person. So how many remaining?
2.
2. So 2 should be written here. Okay. So 9 divided by 2. Can you convert this one to improper fraction? I mean, in this improper fraction to mixed number.
Okay.
To me, and he looked at me, he doesn't know me, he doesn't know anything about me, and he told me,
Sir,
Yeah. Then?
should I do it on the screen?
Yeah, okay, it's okay. You can do anywhere, but I need the answer and the explanation only.
Okay.
Fine. Good. Good. Right. Now, what about shall we try to do this one? 15th one. Did you do
Yeah.
this? Did you do this question? 15th?
Yeah, sir. I did.
What's the answer?
This one?
Okay, did you try the question earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so draw the pattern, next pattern in the sequence. How can you draw that?
Okay. Sir. Should I draw?
Yeah. Are you drawing?
Yes, sir.
Where are you drawing? On your paper or on your book or?
In my paper.
Okay. So how many triangles will be there in the next pattern?
9.
9? Oh, 9 sticks, huh? No. How many triangles? Means here you see only one triangle.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
2
Ah,
triangles.
okay.
Here 3. So in the next
Four.
pattern we
Four.
should have 4, right?
Four.
So how can you draw? You can just add 2 more sticks.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you can just add 2 more sticks like this. Right? Oh. So you can just, so these are wax measures, yeah, you can just add 2 more wax measures, so it will appear like this, right? So this will be the
Yeah.
pattern 4, not pattern 3, this will pattern 4, right? So this is how you should draw this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now complete the table. Pattern number, number of sticks, how many sticks do we have in the pattern number 1? 1, 2, 3, right? 3.
3.
And in the second pattern,
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And the third one,
7.
7. And in the fourth one,
9.
9, right? So the increment is 2. The increment is 2. Now write the term to term rule. It's
Add
term-
2. Add 2.
Term to term rule means, what's that?
Add 2.
What, I'm sorry?
The answer of that is add 2.
Yeah, term to term rule. Yeah, term to term rule means for finding the adjacent or the subsequent terms, you have to add 2, right? So add 2,
Yeah.
right? So for the subsequent terms, you have to add 2, right? So that is term to term rule.
Yeah.
And 14th one. And do you have any other questions to discuss? What about this one? Okay, so let's try to do the rest of the questions from the beginning and learn some things. Are you sleepy? Are you tired? Are you tired or sleepy?
None of that.
Can we continue for more 15 more hours?
Okay.
And then wind up? Yeah, right. Can you just erase your annotation?
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam.
சார் இது அம்மாருக்கு இந்த கொஞ்சம் எனக்கு ரிவைஸ் பண்ணி படல நான் பிஸின்றதால அவர் தனியா படிக்க அவர் படிச்சு பட்டில்ல அதுதான் இப்போ ஒரு கிளாஸை போட்ட உடனே ஒருத்த விளங்குமே அவரோட சுச்சுவேஷன் தான் போட்டது அதுக்கு எல்லாம் ரிவைஸ் பண்ண மாதிரி இருக்கே சார் இப்போ நான் உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பின பேஜை கிளியர் பண்ணி விட்டா ஓகே இருக்குது நான் கொஞ்சம் பேஜஸ் அனுப்பினேன்
The pictures are okay.
பிக்சர்ஸ்ல அந்த லாஸ்ட் ஏரியாஸ் தான் போல நினைக்கிறேன் இப்போ விளங்கிருக்குமா இருக்கும்
Okay, let me just insert the pictures to this. Learn the things in these 3 pictures. I don't know if I have. Okay, so let me just confirm the page numbers. Have I inserted the pictures in order of page numbers? Anyways. Yeah, this is 7.1.
It's not ordered.
சார் ஆர்டர் இல்ல அவருக்கு கிளியரான பேஜஸ் நான் அனுப்பல கிளியர் இந்த கொஞ்சம் டவுட் ஆயிருந்ததுல தான் அனுப்பி வச்சேன் போல
It's okay. What is this? So fractions, right? So you should know what fraction is. What is fraction? So fraction is a ratio of 2 numbers, right? So you should be able to define mathematical terminologies, right? Fractions, right? So nobody will ask you to define the terms, but you should know, right? So for your understanding, this is ratio of 2 numbers, right? 2 numbers. there will be two components in the fractions. The first one is numerator and the other one is denominator. And depending on the size of the numerator and denominator, we classified into two portions or two categories, right? So what are they? I already explained.
Yes.
What are they?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, you are asking all the times to repeat the question. You should comprehend my question, right? I asked you to, what do you call this? We classified the fractions into two major categories depending on the size of numerator and denominator. Just now I explained.
Yeah.
Can you recall them?
A proper fraction
Proper fraction and improper fraction.
and improper
Improper
fraction.
fraction. And in addition to that, we have mixed numbers also, right? Mixed numbers.
Yeah.
Decimals, we know decimals and percentages, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
understanding fractions, right? Here you should know these things. Can you just erase these annotation? Right. So here denominator, what is denominator?
The down number.
The down number by which we divide the number by.
Yeah.
Operator is, what do you call, division, multiplication. These are mathematical operations, right? The operators are the symbols. Now this is an operator, this is an operator, this is an operator, and this is the operator. So we have mainly four operators: multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. These are operators, right? Numerator and proper fraction, improper fraction, right? So these are the keywords that you should know. And 1/10. How can you write 1/10? How can you write 1/10?
Write a paper.
How can you write 1/10?
Here.
Oh, I can see that. Can you just scribble on the screen? Can you write on the screen?
Oh, yes.
This is not 1/10. This is 10, right? 1/10 means in the denominator you should write 10, right? 1/10 mean this is 1/10. This is 1/10. Okay? 1/10, right? So 10th, if you have, if the word ends in th, th, right? Finally th, and then it should be in the denominator, right? So can you write down 3/4 or 1/4? 1/4. How can you write 1/4? So you see here,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, இவருக்கு வந்து இந்த இது அந்த பெர்சன்டேஜ் கொஞ்சம் விளக்கப்படுத்த தெரியுமா சார்? அந்த எத்தனாவது பேஜ்னா பேஜ் நம்பர் 70.
Page, no,
70 அனுப்பியிருக்கிறேன். பேஜ் நம்பர் 70. Percentage and decimals and fractions. Yeah, that's sir.
என்னது அந்த நீங்க அனுப்பினீங்களா இது?
Yes, say that.
Can you just send me the picture to the not WhatsApp chat, the Zoom chat? There is a chat option in the Zoom application. You are okay with percentages, yeah? Because already you did the question yourself without any struggle. You have any issues in percentages? How to find the percentage of a number? It's very simple. Yeah, here it is there. It is there here, right? Now this is the test. Let me go in an order. Before that, did you understand about fraction? Because we have to go in an order, then only you can get a complete understanding, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I will explain about percentages also. Before that, let's try to understand these prerequisites, right? The basic things. Here, 1/4. I ask you to write down 1/4 on the screen.
Okay, sir.
1/4. And can you try to write down 3/4? 3/4. Very good, very good. Now 1/10 of a number is 5. 1/4 of a number is 5. So they are telling 1/4 of. In mathematics, if you find the preposition of, it can be substituted as multiplication. Yeah, 1/4 of a number is equal to 5. What's that number? What's that number? So we should know, or we should find out this number. For that, we can just multiply the equation by 4, both sides, right? So now I will just multiply this by 4 and this also by 4. So this and this will cancel. So the number is equal to 5 into 4, 20.
20.
I'm sorry. This is 1/10, right? So here I explained this one, right? So if the 1/4 of the number is 5, then the number would be 20. But I just wanted to explain this question. Anyways, this is also okay. This is also okay, right? Now look at this worked example. Look at this worked example. 1/10 of a number is 5. Can you try to do this question? What is the number? Can you find that one? What would be that number?
Sir, should I tell the answer in the board? Okay. Sir,
What's the answer?
2.
2. How? See, here, look at the question carefully. 1/10 of a number is 5. So they are telling 1/10 of a number is equal to 5. So 1/10 of that number is equal to 5, right? Now I need to find out this number, but in front of that I have this fraction. I have to get rid of this fraction. For that I am going to multiply both sides by 10, right? So because I need to get rid of this 10, right? Again here also 10. So now this will become 1. So the number would be 50. The number would be 50. So this is how we can do this. But conceptually, if you want to understand, now you see here 1/10. 1/10 means what? Now if you consider a bar, the bar is divided into 10 equal parts. 10 equal parts, and each part is 1/10. This is 1/10. This is 1/10. This is 1/10, and each and every cell here is 1/10. Each and every cell here is 1/10, and each cell weighs 5. So the value of each cell is 5. So this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, this is 5. So totally how many 5s do we have? 10 5s. So what would be the entire value, the total value?
50.
50. So the answer is 50. That number would be 50, not 2, right? Not 2.
Sir, can you explain once again?
Okay. Now in mathematics, you know that if you have the proportion of, it represent multiplication symbol, right? So they are telling 1/10 of a number is 5. So 1/10 of a number is 5. So now instead of this of, I will replace multiplication, and number is equal to 5. So I need to find out what this number is. So I don't need this 10 over here, right? So to get rid of this 10, what can I do? To get rid of this 10 in the denominator of the fraction in front of that number, what can I do? What can I do?
So I don't.
Yeah, you just multiply by 10 both sides. What will happen? This 10 and this 10 will disappear, right? So here we have only 1. So we will just have the number itself. So here we have 50. So that number would be 50, right? So this is how we have to do, like manual calculation. But if you want to do it conceptually, now you see here, let's consider a bar, right? So let's consider a bar, and 1/10 means the bar is divided into 10 equal parts, right? So you can count the cells, right? Small divisions: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So the bar is divided into 10 equal parts. Okay, 10 equal parts. Now they are telling 1/10 of that number, right? So the bar represents the number that we have to find out. The bar represents the number that we have to find out. So each portion of that bar weighs 5, which means the value of this bar is this not bar, this is actually the cell, right? This is 5, this is 5, this is 5, and all are 5. So how many 5s do we have here? How many 5s do we have here? How many 5s do we have here? Count the 5s. Count the 5s.
5.
No, I'm asking how many 5s do we have here?
Okay.
1 5, 2 5, 3 5, 5 4 5, 5 6 7 8 9 10 5s, right? So if you have 10 5s, what's the total?
50.
50. So the entire bar represents 50, and we initially assume that the bar is the number that we are going to find out. So what is that number? What's that number?
50.
50 is that number, right? So we follow two methods to find out the number that represents the 1/4 of 5. 1/4 of 5. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Okay, now below that we have some questions, but we will do it in the next class, right? Okay, so you have any questions or doubts to ask?
Sir, I'll study
Okay, you can
and
study.
I'll ask.
I'm sorry?
I'll study and I'll ask.
Okay, then fine. So we can meet in the next session. Okay, so you can leave now.